what do you see the good organizations doing regarding key performance indicators and regarding kind of bringing that data into this picture that maybe isn't something that is being transacted necessarily just in the general ledger software?
It seems like all accounting technologies have a dashboard these days, and that's great, but do they have the right key performance indicators? And really, less is more. So as an example, if I'm a CFO, maybe I'm tracking assets and revenue, versus if I'm a senior manager level, maybe I'm looking at my receivables or payables. So we're able to take these analytics and divvy out the dashboard experience based off the persona. So, you know, it takes a village, of course, to run a great organization, and it's knowing the role and knowing where the data is coming from, so you can really dial into very specific and advanced KPIs. I encourage owners and CFOs to go through an exercise on a quarterly basis. They look at, well, give me an abstract of how many KPIs, like the dashboard in your vehicle or airplane, how many KPIs would you be looking at, and what are the most important ones? When I'm driving my vehicle, how much gas do I have? How fast am I going? How is my engine overheating? Those are about the three. Maybe if I'm playing that game, race the GPS and the estimated time of arrival. But typically, we're going to center down 3 or 4 KPIs. Same thing organizationally. So if a KPI does not serve a purpose, it should be blown out of there, because we don't want to distract and we don't want to muddy the water. You know, some examples of the analytics that I like to see my CFOs, my owners look at margins. Margins are huge. It's often overlooked. You'd be surprised how many times you're not looking at margins. You can drill down. We're showing Sage Intact right now, but other applications can do this. You know, margins by product, margins by project. Just make sure you have margins. Look at EBITA as well, very important. And I also like to look at what are non-standard P&Ls. I always think of, and I don't know why, but car washes. Let's just pretend I own a car wash. What is the weather doing, and what are the number of visits? And then we can plan appropriately. You know, the other things that we want to make sure of is, you know, depending on the size of the organization or the type, you might have a board. You might have banks that might want some information, not a test, but just looking at information. Are we able to trust in our data, and with the right technology and the right general ledger setting up correctly, it's just here's the access to the dashboard, go nuts, because everything is good and we can trust in it. So those are what I see, and I always love showing this picture, because in this picture here of the dashboard, this is really the end goal. So then month over month, instead of focusing and being worried about, is my accounting data correct, I'm thinking about, well, how do I future-proof and make great decisions for my organization?